going, Kansas City? How's it going, Pocket Heads? That hasn't stuck yet, but we're We're in the pocket, and yeah, if you listen, I'm gonna call you Pocket Heads unless you have a better name for it. I don't have a better name for it, but yeah, it is February 20th. We are I think on the tail end of Ice-mageddon, Snowmageddon,
something. It's cold.
Arctic Air-mageddon. I don't know. It's been unnice, to say the least.
What are you talking about? This is perfect weather.
Perfect weather.
Perfect weather.
Well, I mean, I guess if I had to decide if it was cold weather or hot weather, I'd pick cold. What about y'all?
Definitely cold, because I've been in hot weather before.
Yes. Well,
I do not like
cold. You can just layer up. You keep layering up.
But not this cold. This cold is debilitating. You can't even go outside for more than 30 minutes.
Well, I mean, yeah, but when it's hot though. But this here, you can layer up. You can get one of those. They call them the Pooh Shiesty mask.
That's an artist. That's not a mask.
No, but they call it. He was wearing a hoodie like thing.
I believe they call it a shiesty.
Shiesty. Wow. I am getting old, Darcy. I am getting old out here. But yes, if you're wearing the shiesty, all your face can be covered up. If you have gloves, you can put a whole bunch of layers on. But if it's hot, there's only a certain amount of layers you can take off before the police are involved. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the difference.
And even then, sometimes it's not enough.
Yes. But yes, I am Covell Hudson, and we are in the pocket, and we have
Michael Darcy,
and we have
Jay Powers.
Yes, and Darcy, where are you from? Well, that's not the question, but you know what I'm saying.
You guys can find me on YouTube at KC Sports Report. I cover the Chiefs on a daily basis, and excited to get into all of the off-season drama because so much has already happened, and we're less than 2 weeks removed from that horrible game that we're not even going to talk about. We don't have to.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of a name for it. I call it the debacle. The debacle of 2024.
It just makes me sad. I don't have a name for it. I will never go back and watch that. I saw enough the first time around. I'm good.
It's I've really just kind of now been able to say, hey, it was a good season. The team kind of struggled all year. I defended them all year. Like, man, they're just waiting for the Super Bowl, man. And then so yeah, man,
I think they're still waiting.
I think they're still waiting.
Next year. 2026 is the year.
Yeah, but they said there was a video or image of a lady with a Patrick Mahomes voodoo doll. That stuff is real down there.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm not a what's the word I'm looking for? Superstitious? I'm not a superstitious guy.
Are you a little stitious?
I'm a little stitious. I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. Like, I don't believe in ghosts and stuff. But if you said, hey, let's go to this haunted house and camp for a night, I'm like, nah. I'm not gonna mess with it, So, but yeah, Patrick Mahomes kind of played like there was a voodoo doll being.
He was getting poked and prodded. I'll tell you that. Yeah,
thrown down some stairs and stuff. Yeah, man, it's yeah, it was rough. But and you know what? The roughest thing was everybody wanted the Chiefs to lose. So what that did was, as fans, we're fanatics. That makes us so arrogant and cocky. Like, I don't know if you heard the show before. I'm like, yeah, Chiefs might blow these guys out, man. They might blow these boys out. Like, we had a few shows, but I was pretty confident. But that's and I aligned it to having your big cousin that beats everybody up. But then you see him get whooped on in front of you, you're like, man, I ain't safe out here no more.
Maybe he's not so big and strong. Yeah, that's well, you had every right to think that the Chiefs were going to go in there and take care of business. I thought that they would, go out there and win the game. But, man, I don't think anyone expected that to unfold on Sunday.
I expected more out of the defense. Like, all season long, man. I saw, a defense. I wouldn't run on with a truck. I saw them making plays when it mattered. That's what I was expecting, and just to see them come out and just.
All right, so how many times did our offense get past the 50-yard line?
None until I think midway through the third quarter.
Well, yeah, and there was a pick six.
Yeah,
and they had great field position. So the defense, they stopped Saquon. The defense did what they were supposed to do. They were just out there the whole time,
except for that long touchdown pass. And,
There were moments where the defense didn't look great, but they're not the reason that they lost the
No,
game.
they're not.
Yeah.
Like when before the season, I made a list. I made a list of a list of issues. You can switch that here if it's being weird. I made a list of the team's biggest issues, and on that list was the top 3. It was left tackle, it was cornerback, and it was it running back? Yeah, it was running back. And if you go to the Super Bowl, that's the first week of the season. Well, when we were going into the first game, we were in the preseason, and now the Chiefs lose in the Super Bowl, which I'm complaining about, but I'm not complaining about. But the things that stood out was the left tackle, the wide receiver, and the running back. So I'll say there's probably a problem. What would you?
Yeah, there's definitely a problem. I think that it's hard for me to sit in this chair and criticize Joe Thuney when he has been playing at a level that, quite frankly, he should not have been playing at left tackle. It felt like the Chiefs kind of got away with putting him out there for so long, and he looked good for like 4 or 5 weeks. It's just he couldn't. Well, I don't know, though, because he played the end of the season and then into the playoffs as well, so it's like you were able to win with Joe Thuney at left tackle. The issue is when you face that Eagles defensive line, he didn't have the arm length, he didn't have the speed, he didn't have the ability to get to his spot, which is why he got beaten on so many occasions. But I'll say this, Joe Thuney wasn't the reason you lost this game. That entire offensive line was bad.
And the game plan was butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Excuse my
Putting
French.
it lightly.
No.
Excuse my French.
It was both cheeks. Okay.
Yes, the idea was they were bragging about it. Quick game. Get the ball out of his hand quick. He's 5 and 7 step drops. So, yeah, man. And you know what it was like having Joe Thuney at left tackle?
What's that like?
It was like, I don't know if it's the Justice League. I get them mixed up. But where's Aquaman? He's in the Justice League?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. And Superman's in the Justice League, right?
As well, yeah.
It was like, you need a Superman at left tackle. But they were like, hey, Aquaman, go be Superman. Go stop this, the Hulk. And he's like, man, I can't do nothing out of water.
I honestly would say that it was like Aquaman sinking in water, because that's what that performance looked like. It was bad.
Well, but he didn't look like he was supposed to be there. If Aquaman was sinking in water, it'd be like, hey, you're supposed to be there. Why aren't you using those fins? Do
they have fins?
I don't know, man. I just my fiance, she loves Marvel and the comics, DC, and but she says she doesn't like DC, but she likes Marvel. So Justice League, I don't even know. It's not the point. Joe Thuney looked like he was out of his element, and the Chiefs kind of put him out there and didn't run the ball. What we're talking about this show, we're gonna move on from this great season that the Chiefs had. It was a great season. Squandered. Yes. Man, I'm trying to be positive, Jay.
They squandered it.
They squandered it. Okay, so the history that the Chiefs squandered, I am trying to get past that and not be a bitter fan. So we are going to discuss free agency because the Chiefs, it didn't seem like it in the moment, but the Chiefs kind of low-key went all in for that three-peat. Would y'all say that?
I wouldn't disagree with it. But,
yes.
When it comes to because when you say they go all in, if they would have gotten DeAndre Hopkins from 5 years ago, I would say, yeah, that's all in.
Well, but we won 5 years ago.
Was it 6 years ago? I don't even know.
I was talking generally.
Oh,
but still, the thing is, we had DeAndre Hopkins.
It's DeAndre, not DeAndre. But go ahead.
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm splitting
he's
hairs.
a loser. I'll tell you that. Doesn't matter what. DeAndre Hopkins is a loser.
Well, what you mean?
He choked in that game, man. Listen, no one looked good.
One pass.
Couple passes.
Well, I mean,
all right,
Mr. Garbage time.
Oh boy.
When we picked him up and we didn't really do anything with him at all, what did everybody say? We're saving him for the playoffs. Okay,
say my name, Jay. How about you just put a name on it? I'm just playing. Go ahead.
And I agreed with that.
I did too.
I was they're gonna unleash him in the playoffs, and we didn't get the unleash. He was still on the choke collar.
Choke collar.
Yeah, you know,
Chiefs fans are just rough. We're just mean.
They had him leashed up. They did not just say go out there and catch everything. It was like
maybe he wasn't that guy.
All right, let me put this out there.
We didn't have a guy.
Well, that's true.
Juju outperformed him though.
But here's the thing, though. We had a guy. He did, but we had a guy that were used to doing a certain thing, but he wasn't. So when you bring a guy in like DeAndre Hopkins, how do you say we're going to get you involved this way when we have Travis Kelce that we still have to treat like the superstar he is? We have Xavier Worthy. We have who else we got? So I'm making y'all point.
Juju, DeAndre Hopkins, and like Justin Watson.
That was it.
Yeah, but
that does not scream deep threat. All right.
No, it
I would have
doesn't.
taken Steve Smith over Steve Smith, who has been out of football for how long?
It's
Yeah.
been about
Is it
10
a
years
decade?
now. Yeah, it's about 10 years
I
now.
would have lined him up out
He's
there.
got grandkids now, I believe. Yeah.
So I would have lined him
What
up.
about
out
left
there.
tackle? Who cares at this point?
So,
Well, so like, and look, this is still fresh. Matter of fact, can you hit F8, Jay? Because I want to go back and hear this next season. We're like, wow, we're like scorned from a relationship right now.
yeah.
Because like even I caught myself talking to somebody, and I was like, yeah, Patrick Mahomes probably isn't hungry enough, and I was like, wow, what am I saying? what am I doing right now? But
Can we just blame it all on Eric Bieniemy?
It's his fault.
It is.
I was gonna say more Matt Nagy. I'd rather. Hey, I bet you half the city. No, everybody hated him. He probably would have done a better job than Matt Nagy.
I'll tell you who's responsible. It's QB1 and Andy Reid. That's why the offense sucked.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't want to like just say that it was they should have put in
Carson Wentz.
Carson
Oh
Wentz.
boy.
Yeah.
Hold up. I have not seen you hit F8, Jay. I want you to hit up here, the top one. Nope, the top one. Up top. Nope, right here.
What?
By the window. Hit F8. Bam. So what that does is that puts a little timestamp. So then when we're saving it, we can click that little clip out.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah.
So much post-production
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Way to go.
Uh-huh.
All right, but yeah.
It's great for the radio waves, too.
We did not get vintage Mahomes. And I will say that, okay.
We didn't even get.
We didn't get.
I'm not going to join in what y'all are doing.
We didn't get rookie year Mahomes. We
No.
didn't. Yeah. So
We
I'm
got
not
the
gonna
worst
say-
game in Texas Tech. That's who we got.
okay.
We got a scared elderly man out there playing quarterback. Not saying that he's elderly, but like he looked scared.
Well, I mean, all right, so let's talk about this. So
Let's talk.
Patrick Mahomes, he didn't make the Pro Bowl this year. Everybody's saying that he kind of fell off, right? You know, like they're saying he did. Well, basically, no Pro Bowl, no MVP consideration. So people are saying he's not doing what he's been
I've
doing.
heard washed. I've heard that.
Yes, I've heard that too.
But whenever you still have teams, building this massive juggernaut that's supposed to take him down, and they don't, it's saying something.
Well, but like so, if you think about it, so this year was down, and you take the injuries out of it, which is a weird thing to do. But take the injuries out. You know, Rasheed Rice, Pacheco, Travis Kelce being older. You know what I mean? You take those things out of it, and Patrick Mahomes, what is he won three Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
3 Super
Could have been
Bowls.
4. He could have 5 by now.
It could be
His
5.
offensive line was good.
You know, it's so weird that both Super Bowls we looked the same. Just losses where it was like, that's not our guy.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I felt as confident going into 55 as I did into this one, and they lost both of them.
Yeah.
And the
There you
parallels
go.
are very
There
similar
you go.
too.
His confidence sank this team.
If
right
you
Yeah.
look at the similarities between those two teams in 2020, they went rushed through the regular season. They lost once to the Raiders at home, and then they chose to lose that final game of the season.
Yeah.
And then they ended up, doing the same thing this year. They lost one game, get to the playoffs. They go through the entire playoffs, run through them, get to the Super Bowl, and just get boat raced.
So, which is an odd thing, though. It's such an odd thing. But so he has 3 Super Bowls. The worst season he's ever had is a loss in the
AFC Championship game.
In overtime.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 kids now.
3.
He's been a busy boy.
Yeah.
3 kids now.
That sponsorship money's good.
And that sponsorship money good. That nanny money good. I got 3. It'd be 4 or 5 if I had that nanny money. But yeah, he owns like part of the Royals. I don't know exactly.
Minority owner.
Yeah, he owns like part of Whataburger, or at least a few of them or something.
Yeah.
So like,
I think Sporting as well.
and Sporting.
And
So-
his wife owns the Kansas City Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yes. So this year, who's to say? How do you stay hungry? Let's talk about being hungry. When you look at young rappers, you look at even singers, you look at young football players. They're like hungry. I have to make a legacy. I have to make money. I have to prove myself. But then once you do those things and you have that thing, what is it that makes you keep trying to, like Shaq. Shaq was winning. He was good. He was just physically more gifted than everybody else. But everybody said if he would have done this or this, he could have won 10 championships, So do y'all think that has anything to do with Mahomes' decline? Like he's got kids, he's got money.
No, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
It's not, I've done it all. What else do I have?
Besides Tom Brady.
There are 52 other dudes on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And not all of them are as elite as Patrick is.
Well, we only have one superhero. And Aquaman showed up.
Well, yeah. I mean, that'll happen. Okay?
But why? Is the question.
It's not a decline in, I want to say, his skills, because if you had to choose anybody to build a team around, your quarterback, you would pick him first.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of he can't get the rest of the team elevated to the level that he can do.
But that wasn't the issue in the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying?
He played poorly in the Super Bowl. I don't think it's all his fault. I think it's a mixture of
Philadelphia Andy Reid coming out?
A little bit.
Well, I mean,
a little bit. You kind of saw him get out. Weirdly, he got out coached by Nick Sirianni.
I have to give Nick Sirianni respect now? I have to give Jalen Hurts respect now? I called him Lamar Jackson Light. And I got to give him respect now because Andy Reid decided to.
He has my attention. I'm not going to say he is the second coming of Patrick Mahomes until he does it again.
Hold on, what you mean?
He's always been this not good enough to be great.
You talk about Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
Okay.
He's always had a good team, always came up short.
Tell you this, you gave Patrick Mahomes Jalen Hurts roster, he's never losing again. Never again.
Hold on, say it again. Well, yes, true.
Like even going into that Super Bowl, the discourse was that Eagles team on paper was like 10 times more talented than the Chiefs. And guess what? It's true. It was true.
But the only reason I was confident is because we have this Infinity Stone and y'all don't.
Well, I still think the Chiefs have the better players at key positions. You saw those guys kind of not play up to the Superman level that we've seen. And honestly, I think that part of the reason the offense has been so non-explosive is because the Chiefs have been tailoring it differently. They've been trying to take the short yardage stuff and just move the chains because that's the efficient way. And listen, when the Chiefs were winning Super Bowls, when they won back-to-back championships, they were doing that. And so it's easy to be like, okay, this is the offensive method that is working. You saw way too many times this season that offensive method didn't work, and it felt like we were waiting for them to explode, and they never did because it felt like they kind of handicapped Patrick Mahomes and the ability of what he can do because you saw Xavier Worthy catch that garbage time touchdown. Where was that in the AFC Championship game? Where was that in the first quarter of the Super Bowl?
Where was that all season?
Exactly. Like, where was that?
Well, see, and I agree with you, but that's why I mentioned with Kingsley, when he started at left tackle, the Chiefs were trying to play a run and gun style. 5-7 step drop, we're going to throw it deep. But then they realized they couldn't because everybody was hurt and things like that. The offense wasn't playing good, but then they switched the offense to a, methodical, let's just have Travis Kelce here. And, it's painful to talk about.
They were trying to win on recognizance.
Well, not really. It's
rather than talent.
Well, it's almost like if you had a long trip and your car, the car's made it before, but you have to make this one more trip. Like you may put some duct tape on a hose. You know what I mean? You may put some water in your radiator.
Are you asking me this because I drive a Pontiac?
No, you shouldn't. But hey, that's you. Hey, if that's what you do, that's what you. I'm just playing. Pontiac is cool in the '80s.
Give us money.
In the '80s, did you have? I could see you driving something like with a bird on the hood.
I do drive a Trans Am.
Yeah. I'm good at calling this. But what the Chiefs basically did, they were band-aiding all the way through this season, and even last season it worked. This season, the hose came off.
And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they've been playing in the off season so deep for so long. It's
20 extra since Mahomes been here. 20 extra games. That's an extra season of playoffs.
Yeah.
So that takes a toll, and that almost leads me to old Kelce. Because Kelce, he's 35. A couple years ago when I was at camp, remember that was the year camp. Kelce was punching people, and he kept getting in little tussles. And I said then, he's got that Pfizer money. And, he's got these Super Bowls, and he's like, these young, hungry fellas just hitting me. I'm be competing, trying to make this team on me. Yeah. But, like, those extra 20 games, that's an extra season of football. And, in the Super Bowl, he didn't look like he wanted that much of it. And not even to be disrespectful and, call him out. He looked tired.
I don't even think he was the issue or even – a top 5 issue.
But he has to be because the offense is built around him.
I think that's the problem. That should be Andy Reid's issue. You cannot build the offense around a 35-year-old tight end, and especially when you have talent like Xavier Worthy and you just traded for DeAndre Hopkins, and Juju Smith-Schuster got a lot of tread in the playoffs. Like I wasn't expecting that.
I wouldn't either.
And so at a certain point, you as a coach need to evaluate what you have at the position and saying, let's build the entire offense around a 35-year-old who, listen, he's been the best tight end we've ever seen play the position. He is 35 years old. Like, let him have a DeAndre Hopkins type of role or even something a little bit more elevated next season if he does decide to come back, which there are some signs pointing that he is going to come back next year. But there's no point in, rushing him out there and having him play 80% of the snaps when he's probably not going to stay healthy. He's not going to be most effective. Have Noah Gray play 70% of the snaps. Trot Travis Kelce out there on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down.
You know what the problem with that is?
They won't do it.
Nope. $20 million. So it's hard to give somebody the hometown, the he's earned it type of thing when we're like, hey, we need another Avenger. Ask Purdy what happens when he don't have all of his Avengers. He might not get paid as much as he was going to get paid. So
is he even getting paid at all?
I think they're going to pay him. They've been talking like
They'll kick that can down the road until they either pay him, but he's not going to get like top 5, top 7
He's not going to get
money.
Trevor Lawrence money, no.
No. Oh, well, that's an odd way to that's an odd example. But
because what has he done? Nothing.
He's got good hair.
You could almost argue he deserves more. He got him to a Super Bowl. He got him to an NFC Championship game.
Oh,
we were talking about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying, but no, Brock Purdy almost deserves more money than Trevor Lawrence.
Well, yeah, but he had the Super Friends. And you see, this season he didn't have his super friends.
Trevor Lawrence had a pretty good roster.
But see, this is why I think the NFL should be a performance-based pay thing. Okay, everybody should have little bags of money on them. So if you sack the quarterback, you get the bag of money. All right, so that's how much you make. You make how much you earn in the NFL. That's just me. Instead of saying Trevor Lawrence gets $47 million a year for another 4 and
what type of gladiator game are you talking about?
I don't know how many people would play the sport.
Yeah, is a machete involved? Like what? Come on, I just have to let you take it.
At that point.
Yeah, have to let you take it, or where does the ball come in? You've been watching too many Patrick Mahomes insurance commercials. What is it? The
State
soccer
Farm, yeah.
But there's a soccer football thing.
But no, I mean seriously, why do you pay all of these guys all of this money for them to just poop the bed?
Well, but look, I will say this. Who was it? Aaron. I don't quote Aaron Rodgers a lot, but I'll say relax.
Where are we going?
That could have gone anyway. That could have gone a whole bunch of different ways. But the vaccination. No, that's not the Aaron Rodgers one. But
the darkness retreat.
Relax. We gotta relax. I used to do my shows on Wednesday, and it was good doing the shows on Wednesday because it gave us enough time to process it and then let it go. But this one is painful, I know. But we have to, we made it farther. Let me not give sentimental, what's it called? Moral victories.
There are no moral victories in this loss, unfortunately.
Yeah, we selfishly wanted the Chiefs to win. So
we won that fourth quarter. That's
oh my Lord. Are we that
garbage time champions?
Yeah.
Man, I was like, is this what other teams do?
Those kids in Africa that get those T-shirts are going to be super happy.
Exactly.
They're the real winners of this
They're
game.
the real winners. Yes, it's going to be the nice red. And they don't have great dryers, so it's not going to take the ink out of we'll be back after this. Let's get out of here. Let's Pocket on Sports Radio 810 WHB. And we have Michael Darcy and we have Jay Powers on the ones and twos. Technically the 21s and 22s, but we don't have to get technical. We don't have to do that.
Because I don't even know what that means.
Because the channels, it's like we have all those channels and stations, so it's like
I just push buttons.
Well, if you was a DJ, it'd be ones and twos because it's 1 and 2. But since you have the switcher board, it's 22 channels. All right, forget it.
Yeah,
He just pushes the buttons for a
All
living.
right.
this is
All right.
pretty.
Yeah, that was real nerdy what I did there. But
Impressive though.
all right,
Impressive.
I try. Goddamn professional. All right. Let's talk about the offensive line. I think the offensive line is the number one issue going into the offseason, and how could it not be? Mahomes was running for his life. We had Joe Tooney. I almost called him Joe Small Arms Tooney, but he's only small arms at left tackle. So,
Yeah.
I'm still kind of bitter.
I would have went out there and done about the same.
Wow, come on.
And I'm 47 years old with bad
No,
knees.
we cannot. Jay, we have to relax. Those are like if your big cousin got beat up, you're not gonna keep reminding him, man. He got you with that left, man.
Yeah, I would.
Get that
You
boot
don't know
off
my
his
cousin.
face. I had to get his boot off your face, man. Like
Joe Tooney would put us all into the ground.
Yeah, he
Yes.
would. Yeah.
Yes, and then he'd do a math problem because he's supposed to be real smart. But
So, okay, but we
Well,
definitely have some issues on the offensive
yeah,
line.
yes. So we have Tooney. He's going to be at guard, and only at guard. We have Jawan Taylor. Well, Tooney, his cap hit is $27 million, which is pretty steep. I hope they restructure that.
How many people do you think are going to restructure their stuff? I've heard Mahomes.
Well, Mahomes he's got that
Yeah,
he's got the magic contract or
yeah,
whatever that is.
he does. I heard Chris Jones.
Yeah.
He's ready to,
Tyreek Hill's not. He wouldn't.
No, he would.
He said, "Nah, you know
He
what?
got too much child support.
Yeah, yeah. Remember when he said
He's got a football team of just children.
he does have a little football team in the back?
Mhm.
It's easier to do a basketball team. It's hard to do a football team.
Dedication,
he
hard
can
work,
rotate
and love.
the kids out on the court.
I
Yeah.
don't know if it's a lot of. Never mind.
Nope.
Wow, never mind. All right.
Well, to kind of answer Jay's question, I think they're going to restructure two people for sure. They're definitely going to restructure Patrick Mahomes' contract, kick
Yeah.
more money down the road. And Joe Tooney, they can actually extend
Extend
him,
him.
and that kind of works as a restructure. And so you get an extra year of Joe Tooney, and you kind of lower that cap hit, which is a big deal. But I'm sure we're going to talk about it. The cap is going up in 2025, so there might not be as much of a reason to stress about trying to get guys to restructure when you're going to have an additional.
it's not that much
I
more.
think it's 52 million.
No, it's like $22 to $26 million.
More?
I am
Yeah.
horrible at math.
No, I don't think so.
I think I can look it up really quickly.
I think they said the cap was going up to 275.
Well,
So-
yeah, but if we're using a 275 number, the Chiefs have $8 million to play with. No, did he?
Oof.
The NFL informed teams today that the 2025 salary cap will be roughly $277 million, or no, $277.5 million and $281.5 million. So it's between 277 and 281 million. And so the Chiefs currently have a little under $8 million to work with, but that number is raising, I think, $22 million this next season. So that's the equivalent of a Joe Tooney contract or an extension somewhere else, or Travis Kelce, playing this year. So it kind of works out, and we'll talk about the cap in a minute. We'll talk about the cap later.
Yeah, because my head already hurts. So
I love
don't do
this
numbers.
stuff.
I don't do numbers.
you don't do numbers. You're not.
Nope.
Well, so the Chiefs are paying Jawan Taylor. His number is $28 million. Joe Tooney's $27 million. Creed Humphrey $10 million. So Trey Smith is a free agent, and he was a 4th or 5th round draft pick.
He might have been a
I think it was
6th.
Oh, he was a 6th. He was a 6th because he had that injury.
He had that, I think, punctured lung or something in college where his medical just absolutely tanked, and so the
Yeah.
Chiefs got him in the late rounds of day 3.
Long story short, he ain't made no money.
No.
So now he's at a situation where he can get that generational wealth, where somebody can throw back the Brinks truck back up to him. I said that wrong, but yeah, it'd be nice to have him back. But you're not expecting the Chiefs to bring him back?
If the Chiefs were to put the salary cap on him, which they've already said that they're not going to do that for Trey Smith or Nick Bolton,
You mean the franchise?
the franchise tag.
Yeah.
That tag for Trey Smith is $25 million. And for Nick Bolton, since he's a linebacker and there's so many edge rushers that play that position, the magic number for 1 year of Nick Bolton playing under the franchise tag is $27 million. That is not going to happen. Now, if you do go to Spot Track, there's other guys that are available that the Chiefs can pick up for cheaper. Trey Smith in 2025 is, I'm trying to pull it up, he is going to, I think, sign anywhere from a $18 to $22 million a year contract. He's probably going to look for 4 or 5 years. The Chiefs aren't going to give out $100 million to a right guard. It's not going to happen. I'm trying to pull that number up really quickly, but Trey Smith is the pricier of the two key free agents, and he's probably going to demand 20 to 22 a year. And I don't think the Chiefs are going to be anywhere near that ballpark.
No, I would agree. And, he's been a dog. He got my Lunch Pail Award, my first annual Lunch Pail Award for just going to work and doing your job. You know what I mean? So, so the holes that the Chiefs would have to fill right now, allegedly, it's not the right word, but is left tackle.
That could get clipped.
Yeah. Yes. Don't worry about F8 on that one. What was I talking
What's
about?
the delete button?
What was I talking about? Come on, where is it?
Roster spots the Chiefs need to fill. Allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Left tackle, right guard. How do you think the Chiefs need to? How do you think they are going to figure out? Is it during the draft? Or
I think
free agency?
Draft. Draft is the cheaper option.
Well, so what about our young fella, Kingsley Suamataia?
He's going to play right guard. He played right guard at points in 2024, and I think that they liked enough of him at that position. He's a better right guard than he is left tackle, and the Chiefs are trying to, save money, cut out players that, aren't essential, and you can get some good mileage out of Kingsley at right guard, but they're going to have to spend either some major draft capital or some major money on left tackle. The issue is there really aren't any blue chip prospects in this draft. It's a really bad left tackle draft, and the Chiefs don't want to reach for a left tackle, especially when you kind of did that with Kingsley.
Again? Okay.
And look how that worked out. I mean, he got benched after week 2. So the Chiefs are going to have some tough decisions to make, but I think you probably slide in Kingsley at right guard and then go out and draft a left tackle, but also sign one in free agency. You got to try to, get some guy on a 1-year contract, at least kind of prolong that window, and then if the draft class is better next year, go for it. But if don't reach just to fill the position.
Yeah, but I enjoyed Smith at left tackle. I don't think he was great, but I thought he did a good job. I thought if they would have signed him early, I think the Chiefs would have been fine. And hindsight's 20/20, but how would you feel about Orlando Brown?
Is he a free agent this year?
No, I don't think. No, it's not possible for us to get him. But
I wish we had Orlando Brown.
Yeah, they decided not to pay him, so they ended up overpaying Juwan Taylor, and then he ended up playing right tackle, highest paid right tackle, and he's probably the 4th best right tackle.
He's pretty middle of the pack. He's not. I mean, he's not a problem, but at the same time, to pay that kind of money for a right tackle is kind of ridiculous, especially when you won a Super Bowl with Andrew Wiley playing right tackle, and he went and signed somewhere in free agency for probably $10 million a year cheaper, and that's a tough pill to swallow.
Well, but it feels like the Chiefs really did not like Orlando Brown, because I really couldn't figure out why they wouldn't pay a franchise left tackle. So it must have been something personality-wise, work ethic-wise.
I think he wanted too much. And I think the Chiefs weren't going to pay that for mediocrity, because Orlando Brown Jr. wasn't anything special. He wasn't bad, but I think to go back in retrospect and take Orlando Brown, you take him in a heartbeat. The Chiefs win the Super Bowl with Orlando Brown Jr. starting at left tackle, but unfortunately, you don't think they do that?
Well, if the St. Patrick shows up, nah.
I don't think you see the St. Patrick if he's not pressured as much off the left side.
Bingo!
Well, that's a fair.
I don't think that's automatically going to give them the game, but I think that you see because Joe Tooney gets to play left guard and help chip some of the guys that are rushing interiorly.
Caliendo
on the interior.
No, you made up a word there.
Yeah.
But no,
the great ones do.
But Caliendo looked like the comedian, not the football player out there.
Yeah,
Might as well put the comedian out there. Man.
Yeah. He's man. So, you're under the impression that they are going to try to restructure Taylor and Tooney, and then try to go look for a left tackle in the draft?
They're not going to touch Taylor's contract. Unfortunately, Taylor is one of those guys. He's got one more year left on his deal. He's not. Why would he restructure? Out of all the people, it makes no sense because the Chiefs aren't going to give him more years. It would just be, hey, will you take less money to come back? That's not going to happen. They can't cut him.
Well, if they could sign him for 3 years for $21 million, you don't think they would?
I don't know.
That's stability, because the thing that the Chiefs are missing right now is stability. It was too much instability. Both of those were in my head.
Where do you get the 3 years, $21 million?
I just threw that out there.
I mean,
no.
He's getting what? How many years is he getting?
No, $21 million a year.
Oh man,
not 3 years, 21.
Here's the thing, though. You're refusing to pay Trey Smith $20 to $22 million a year, and Trey Smith is top 3 at his position, and Juwan Taylor's probably not top 10.
But guards aren't as important as tackles, though.
True.
That is usually you look at teams that pay their guards. The Colts did it.
Cowboys did it.
The Cowboys did it. The Titans did it. You pay your guards, they're not even good at the tush push. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, like you pay outside. Because right now, this year he's going to get paid 27. So if you can put up with him for 3 more years, pay him 21, now you got some more of that stability, more years in the system. Then he's going to be next to
either Kingsley or some guy they draft.
So we can't look
but I don't think he'd take that. I think that's the issue because that's a pretty substantial. You're cutting into his years down the line.
But it's funny money. It's like a signing bonus because that don't go against the cap. They're like, that money that you was gonna get, we'll give you that now, and then we'll pay you $20 million the next 3 years.
It makes sense, but what do most players
How old is he?
This era, what do they always care? They care about how many zeros is on the contract.
Yeah, he's not going to do a 3-year because
chance.
If he does a 1 more year, he's probably got one more big contract because he's 28. So, yeah. But, see, I love Juwan Taylor at like $18 million. I think he's
I'd love me more for 15.
I'd love him more for 15. I'd take him to work. That's what I would do. All right. Man, there's so much to talk about with these positions. And I know you said we got to go to break, Jay. But let's try to do receivers real quick, even though I know it's impossible to do it in the amount of time that we have.
Let's try. Go.
All right. So, we don't have enough time to talk about receivers here. All right, the receiver room, Hollywood Brown is a free agent. Will he come back? Justin Watson is a free agent. Will he come back? Juju's a free agent. McCole Hardman's a free agent. So basically we have nobody to throw the ball to, kind of like we did all year this year. But Hollywood Jones.
Sounds like a great actor.
It does. Hollywood, you think he's back?
Probably. I think it's either the Chiefs or the Bills that get him. Apparently the Bills want him from what I've seen. I don't know if there's any legitimacy to that, but
they can't get Worthy, so they're like,
got to steal someone from the Chiefs. But
yeah,
I think he'd probably come back.
Yeah, probably. Spot Track said potentially the market value is 2 years, $15.9 million, 8 per.
He is not going to sign a multi-year deal. He'll sign another 1 year.
How old is he? He's 27.
He's getting up there, but the thought process is, he signs a 1-year deal, balls out, and then he'll get 2 or 3 years somewhere for probably 15 to 17.
Does he do 1 year for $8 million, or do you just give him? You just round it up.
You do good business and give him 2 years for $16 million, but that last year's fugazi. That's what they do.
He's got no leverage though. He didn't play enough this season to warrant any legit offers, and that's why I don't think his market's not going to be there in free agency, because who's going to take a chance on a guy that who's going to give multi-years to Hollywood Brown after coming off of a season where he didn't play the entire season other than like 2 games towards the end and then the playoffs? No one's going to pay that guy for 2 or 3 years. But if he comes back next year with the Chiefs and balls out, he'll get a contract.
Yeah. I think teams will lowball him, but you're discrediting how many bad franchises are out there.
That's very true.
So the Bears, you mentioned them earlier. The Bears would say, "Hey, come over here and paint your fingernails with Caleb." That is not fair. That's not nice.
That was not nice.
It was not necessary.
It might be Trey Smith doing that.
Yeah, Trey. He doesn't seem like the. All right, what was I talking about? Do we need a break? We'll come back and talk about receivers. Let's do that. See, sometimes the train goes off the rails. We're out here. You are listening to In the Pocket on Sports Radio 810 WHB. And once again, I have Michael Darcy and I have Jay Powers.
Yes.
I like your last name.
It's best
powerful.
name ever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful.
People always ask me, is that your real name? I hope so. It's on my birth certificates, passport, 214.
What was the mailman's last name? I had to. All right.
Powers.
All right. So going into next year, the Chiefs have
Hollywood Brown.
No, they don't. The Chiefs have I had that up here.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Nico Remigio. I think that's it.
Technically, Sky Moore is still on the roster as of right now.
So like I said, so are you expecting him to have a renaissance?
Man, I hope. Whoa. I hope not. I hope he is not on this. I hope he doesn't even get through OTAs.
But you pay if you get rid of him, you're just losing money.
Not that much money.
Jesus.
Not that much money.
Not that much money. So so what do the Chiefs do at receiver? Is this where should they try to get like a Myles Garrett or should they get like a receiver?
Gotta go with the receiver on that.
Yeah, I thought you was about to say Myles Garrett.
No.
Apparently Myles Garrett's not going to get traded. The Browns apparently don't want to trade him.
Do you realize what that man is going to do with his helmet if he does not get traded?
He has done the most vicious thing with the helmet seen in 50 years.
Yeah. Chiefs definitely need to go with some wideouts because what they got right now obviously isn't cutting it. They don't have a deep threat. Oh, Xavier Worthy can only catch a deep threat in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl when they're already getting blown out.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
You guys.
That's crazy.
All right.
That's a crazy take.
But it's his rookie year. I was not expecting Jerry Rice numbers from a rookie.
He had better numbers in the Super Bowl than Jerry Rice did
in
his rookie season.
But
by a lot.
I'm talking like total season, okay?
Well, but we were talking about left tackle. How can he get down there? He's fast, but he's not flash. He's not just.
How many times during the season were you like, oh, Xavier Worthy dropped that deep ball?
I mean, it was a couple times, but he was a rookie.
Yeah.
But he was a rookie.
It's his rookie season. And I'm giving him flexibility because it was his rookie season.
I felt like Pat either underthrew him or threw it 3 inches, to the left of him.
No, they weren't. Yeah, it was like in consecutive weeks, Worthy ran out of bounds and caught the ball. And then the next week, Patrick threw it out of bounds or something. So, yeah, they weren't on the same page.
He did have some bad spatial awareness. I will say that. Xavier Worthy did have some issues getting his feet in bounds, but towards the end of the season and in the playoffs, didn't see any of those issues.
Well, and what we do have to take into account is all of the injuries and all of when they signed DJ Humphries and they said he may start next week. The reason I didn't like it is because we're already playing a condensed playbook for Kareem Hunt. Mm-hmm. We're already playing a condensed playbook for DeAndre Hopkins, a condensed playbook for whatever offensive line is happening.
Maybe the Chiefs need to stop making these late season moves for guys that are a step over their prime.
Well, Jay, when they win a Super Bowl, you're fine with it. When they lose a Super Bowl, you're like, those idiots, get these bums out of here.
Everything works until it doesn't. And this year it didn't work.
Well, it shouldn't have worked last year. That was the most improbable Super Bowl win, but it worked.
Insane. That was insane.
It was ridiculous. So when we were like, yay, our heroes. And then they lose in a year when, like, who else? Like, the Warriors. This is, off topic, but on topic. Mm-hmm. The Warriors with Kevin Durant. You remember those, they kept going to the playoffs. I mean, to the finals, right? And the same with LeBron James, right? Remember, it was like 12 years or 8 years. They both were there. And that final year when KD was there, everybody fell apart. The team fell apart.
Klay Thompson tore his Achilles.
Yes. Curry hurt something.
No, it was KD hurt himself, and then Thompson hurt himself.
Yes, but then that next year, Steph Curry hurt himself because that was all those extra playoff games. So for the Chiefs to be able to lose in a Super Bowl, it's still an impressive season, and they're still our guys.
Yeah,
and
right, Jay?
I'm not saying that this whole season was a wash and they were all lucky. I said all throughout the season they weren't playing great football. They were playing smart football.
Yes.
And smart football did not transfer to a Super Bowl.
I think they played smart. They just got hit in the mouth and then never caught up.
I don't think they played as smart as they could have or should have or could have. I think that you saw some Andy Reid mishaps with the X's and O's and the game plan. Like, I don't want to.
They didn't run the ball.
They didn't run the ball. They couldn't run the ball with the offensive line. They also didn't have, and I hope that we talk about it at some point during this show, their running backs suck. I'll say it.
Whoa.
I'll say it. I will say it right now.
We can get to that right after the break.
That was supposed to be segment 3, which was like 30 minutes ago.
That's what we call a tease.
That's what we call a tease. So, and look, and I would say that they don't suck. I would say it's an opportunity. That's
When do opportunities usually come about?
well, management training. Back in my management days, they would say, "Don't say, hey, you have a problem with this. Tell them they have an opportunity to be better." So there's
Lots of opportunities for growth.
There's lots of opportunities at the running back position.
Yes. Yeah, and we can get to that after the break. We do got to go to that one. So,
All right, since Jay's being pushy, we will be back after this to talk about running backs.
it's my job.
We are back in Pocket Sports Radio 810 WHB. And that was quick on the music, but we have Michael Darcy and we have Jay Powers out there quick on the music. But yes, we're going to talk about running backs. And Darcy, I think he missed words, or I didn't think he meant to be mean, but he said the running backs suck.
The running backs suck. I'll say it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I'll say it. I will say it.
All right, so what is the running back room missing?
The running back room is missing someone who has that explosive speed, that vision, the ability to be an all-around workhorse and power back, because the Chiefs have had so many different players at that position, whether it's Kareem Hunt from 2018. He was fantastic. He was the last great running back the Chiefs have had in this offense, and they've found, quality players at the position, whether it is, Damian Williams or Darrell Williams or, Isaiah Pacheco has been a great running back in this system. Yeah. He suffered that injury. He has not been the same player, and I don't think you can bank on him being the same healthy Pacheco that he was the first couple years of his career, because when a player like that who runs the way he does suffers that type of lower leg injury, you cannot bank on that explosiveness and that speed coming back. Like that's an injury that oftentimes kills a player's career.
Well, he's a young fella, and he broke his leg, and then he came back and played. So I think we can give him a second.
He is tough. I will give him that.
I think we should give him a second.
But I also will say that even with him being the fierce runner that he is, he lacks the vision that a great running back has. He doesn't have Saquon Barkley's vision. He doesn't have Derrick Henry's vision.
He doesn't have Kareem Hunt's vision.
He doesn't have that either, but he also doesn't have the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield like a lot of running backs in this offense, I personally believe, should.
I think he does. He catches the ball.
Why would they go with Samaje Perine on 3rd and 9 to ice the AFC Championship?
Because he has vision. He's a little bit more polished. He, like he has good vision. He has good hands. He makes the right plays. And Pacheco, all right, I'm proving you right.
But they went with Perine in those pass catching down moments when they didn't with Isaiah Pacheco.
Well, because they kind of replaced him the Jerick McKinnon role. Because like McKinnon, when I was at camp and everybody was talking about McKinnon, he's like a quarterback at running back. He knows where everybody's supposed to be, everybody's assignments, everything like that. And that was Perine in this offense. Pacheco just has to get healthy, I think.
Health is definitely a big factor. I think the Chiefs need to take a massive swing in the draft. I don't know if it's a first-round pick. I don't know if it's a second-round pick. This is a very deep running back class. They need to draft someone. And there's plenty of names that come to mind. Like I love Devin Neal. I'm a KU guy, but watching him in KU's offense, I almost like fall to my knees when I think about what he could do in this Chiefs offense with Andy Reid scheming him up and ways to get involved.
You would do what? All right, go ahead. No, go ahead.
There's plenty of ways for the Chiefs to utilize running backs with more talent to offer. Like the Chiefs don't have a true threat at the position. And I think that's why in that Super Bowl, Vic Fangio's defense, on a scale from 1 to 10,
didn't care.
They feared the Chiefs' running game about a 1. They didn't care. There was no reason to care.
0.5.
Kareem Hunt and the corpse of Isaiah Pacheco was not going to, strike any fear in that defense. Like there was no reason to believe the Chiefs' running game was good enough with that offensive line to worry an opposing team's defensive coordinator.
He's out of line, but he's got a point.
I would argue that I'm just telling the truth.
So let me ask you this. If the Chiefs lost last year, and they almost did a couple times.
Almost did.
If the Chiefs did, would your thoughts of the offseason be differently than they was? So if the Chiefs would have won this year, would like I think the game plan, why I'm so disappointed in the game plan, because the game plan's been great all year. The winning, keeping games close, and being able to find a way has worked all year. And then in the Super Bowl, it didn't. So I don't think that means we have to scrap it all.
No, you don't have to scrap it all.
Tweaks.
I do think, though, because even going back to the Super Bowls that we've won, when have we had a great running back? Like a truly great running back, someone that could alleviate the pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Because guess what? All of the great teams in the AFC and even the NFL right now, they've got a dominant running back, whether it's Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry, even James Cook in Buffalo. They have legit running games that can help the quarterback, be great offensively and open the game plan up. And the Chiefs don't have that, and they haven't had that.
Part of the reason they don't have that is because they've got a QB1 who, for the first 7 years of his career has dominated. They don't really need a running back.
Well, see, and that's
and now it's come to the roaring forefront. They need somebody who can run the rock.
Yes, they do.
Well, I mean, yes, but with what was I about to say here? What was I about to say?
I'll say this. This might be crazy. I think they need a running back more than they need a wide receiver.
That is crazy, sir.
I honestly can see the bigger need being at running back because
I mean, Saquon Barkley, that's probably the only guy I put over a receiver.
Well, think about it. Samaje Perine, free agent. Kareem Hunt, free agent. Those guys probably aren't going to come back. You've got a Isaiah Pacheco who's coming off of a broken leg. He is the only running back on your roster. The Chiefs need to take a
Crocodile
swing.
Dundee.
Carson Steele's not going to do anything. Let's be real here. He's a
looks-
fullback. He's
he
a
looks good in
fullback.
preseason for a few games.
Preseason warrior. We've got a bunch of those guys.
Yeah, that was Powell.
Yeah.
Powell was great in the preseason.
So is Justin Ross.
Okay.
Hey, I am still a Carson Steele stan. Okay.
Yes, exactly. I
Yeah.
wouldn't got me a crocodile.
And when he gets on the field and fumbles the ball twice in the first 5 weeks of the season, we'll probably have to kind of rein it in a little bit.
Well, again,
All right. When that happens, I will be the first one to say, you were right, which is something I've never said to my wife in 12 years of marriage, by the way. So.
We're not married, by the way.
Yeah. But I will say you are right. But in the overall trustworthy of Carson Steele, I give him all the respect. Guy's out there, he's putting in the work, and I don't think I've ever seen anything bad at him. Yes, his play was limited. His play was very limited. But on Steele, what we saw out of him, yes, he can move. He can get yards.
But was it special?
no, he's not. He's not special. No, and I feel you. No, special is what the Chiefs need. But
We need a steam train in the backfield. That's what we need.
Bettis steam train.
No.
Bettis won't work in the NFL in 25.
Yeah.
I think he would. Just like Eddie George, I think they would still work.
When is the last time there's been a good Eddie George in the league?
Eddie
Eddie George.
Yeah.
I mean, next topic.
The NFL has changed so much. And listen, the fact that I'm sitting here in this chair and telling you guys I think running back is this big of a need, I would have never said this 2 years ago.
Well, you wouldn't have said it 2 weeks ago if the Chiefs won.
I was saying that they needed to draft one in the offseason regardless. Because you got to think about it like, the Chiefs' running game has always been a problem, but it's kind of easy when you've got all these great receivers and Travis Kelce. With the way that the Chiefs have been beaten as of late, what do all of those teams have in common?
They scored more points than us.
They also had a great running game to go with their quarterback. And their quarterbacks were good, and obviously the quarterbacks were better than the running backs in half the circumstances. Like Josh Allen is better than James Cook. Saquon's better than Hurts. Easy.
Yes, I will say that. But you're not going to tell me that the Bengals beat us a couple of years ago on the backs of their running game.
Well,
Mixon did kind of kill us a little bit, though.
No, but okay, our best running back that we had was young Kareem Hunt, right?
Yeah, 2018 Kareem Hunt with Patrick Mahomes before he got cut for,
the nightlife.
The nightlife.
I'll just say the nightlife, because there was there's other ways that I want to say it, but I'm not. But man, did I just lose my point again?
Joe Mixon in that 2021 playoff run where they ended up beating the Chiefs, he had 67 carries for 262 yards and a touchdown in 4 games.
I mean, that's all right. That ain't great.
In the playoffs, though. Think about it.
Well, I mean, yeah. But look, so that's what I was going to say.
And one of those games is in the Super Bowl.
Well, that they lost. But
They did.
yes, but you look at the Chiefs having to get rid of Kareem Hunt, right? The best running back. And what happened for the last 7 years without prime Kareem Hunt? What happened?
They went wide receiver heavy and relied on the long ball.
Well, yes, but no, success-wise, record-wise, end of the season-wise, what happened without a great
They were
running
very
back?
successful.
Very successful.
They went back-to-back and went to a third one.
Yes, we need somebody respectable at running back. We need somebody that can make it that can make it happen.
And you know what? That's the point of the show. That is, I think, I will concede what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs don't have anybody, sadly to say, anyone even slightly above average at this point. They don't have that. And who knows what a slightly above, like a top 10 running back in the NFL, if you put that guy into this Chiefs offense, they're automatically better. Because
we
James
had Lair. Okay, I'll take it.
Whoa,
Yeah, it's a
whoa,
joke.
whoa.
It was a joke. First round draft pick, baby. Yes, I like you said, yeah. So somewhere in the middle of their bums, and we need a superstar, and I believe we just need somebody respectable that can be respected. And
so would you say that Pacheco's not respectable then at this point in time?
No, I think he is. I think he came back fast.
Okay.
You know, like you look at people that break their legs or have those lower body injuries, it takes a while to get back into it, unless you're Terrell Owens.
Or they might never
or
get
Adrian
back.
Peterson. Well, but that was in the 80s and the 90s when they used to say we're going to rub some salt on it and get back out there.
Well, look at Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was one of the best running backs in the NFL. And
but
then
his stuff was shredded. And he was bone to bone. That's not Pacheco. Pacheco, I guess he has a little bit of an injury.
He did
history.
snap his leg, and then he broke his rib this year. Like, there's some legitimate injury concerns, but
Yeah. No, if you want to say, hey, you're not durable enough, we'll get rid of you, cool. But as far as just what the Chiefs need, I think he's fine.
they're not going to get rid of Isaiah Pacheco. He's going to be on this roster in 2025 because he was a 7th-round draft pick. He's got that year of, eligibility to play for this team. He's still got one more year under contract. Chiefs are too cheap. They're not going to cut him. He's got a role on this team. I just don't think that role on the team should be the number one running back.
And you don't think Kareem Hunt should come back and do that?
Man, Kareem Hunt gave it his all this season. He has it's hard for me to be like he's got a lot of football left in the tank because he's getting up there in age, and you could kind of see that midpoint in the season, he was beaten up. And I got to talk to him at the Super Bowl. He was like, I kind of needed the rest.
Well, yeah, but I think he played pretty solid. He
did
clearly
play
showed.
solid. He came
He was
back.
the best vision.
Yeah, and he definitely improved the running back situation from what we had.
So y'all be mad if they running back, Pacheco, Hunt.
If they platooned Pacheco and Hunt, I would be all right with that. I do. I loves me a two-headed monster running back team.
Yes, but I will say,
Do you get better? Does that make you better?
well, but see the resources at running back. If you have once again respectable, and you have a solid offensive line, a great quarterback, and some receivers and the tight end to catch the ball, you don't need a stud back there. The Eagles, if they had Pacheco, things would have been different this year. You know what I mean? Because they don't
been
have
in the Super Bowl.
No, yes, because they don't have that 70-yard touchdown guy.
But the same thing that I said about Vic Fangio and the Eagles defense not taking our running game seriously, what are the odds that a healthy Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt being almost 30? Is he in his 30s? Like, what part of that two-headed monster is going to strike fear into any defense? If this was 2022, we'll have a conversation. I'll have that conversation right now. It's 2025. I don't think that you can put both of those guys out there and still get the same production.
Well, but like the way the salary cap works, because we've been talking about it, but we've been talking about everything else. But the way the salary cap works, though, is if you have a great quarterback and you have a great tight end who's paid as a great tight end, you don't get a great running back. You have to do scouting. You have to do, hey, we have a great environment here. You know what I mean? You have to do that. You don't get all of that. So yeah, the Chiefs have Mahomes, they have Kelsey, and we have those linemen that cost a lot of money. That's almost all the money you have on offense. So that's why we have that hole at left tackle. That's why we have a hole at wide receiver. But if everything is working right, then that's good enough because you have the big infinity stone, which is Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean?
All I'm asking is that they spend some sort of resource on going to get someone that can help this offense in the running game, because I just think that in 2025, with all of the uncertainty, you're probably not going to see Kareem Hunt back. Maybe he does come back. I wouldn't hate it, but at the same time, I ask you the question, like, is this team getting better at that position? I think that you're not really confident with saying yes.
Well, so I feel like if we would grade the Chiefs running back room at a 72, you feel like, and I feel like we won Super Bowls at about a 76. But you're like, the Chiefs need to go from like a 72, 74, 76 to 87.
An 86 would be great.
Well, yes, it would be great. But that means we'd have to, like, get super lucky, like getting another 7th round pick, and he just ends up being pretty good.
Maybe spend a 4th or a 5th. And I'll tell you what, maybe this is crazy. Maybe this is a homer pick. If Ashton Genty is available at the, mid to late 20s, like if he's at like 20, 21, trade up to go get him.
See, that is, I wish we have some sounds over there, because that is a wild thing to do.
It's wild until it works.
When the Chiefs that just lost the Super Bowl needs a left tackle, they probably need a guard, they need a receiver, they need a defensive lineman. What else? They're going to need a tight end playing. So for them trading up for a running back will be more. I can't think of the word. It would be worse than when they drafted Elaire in the first round.
I think that the issue is the left tackles in the draft are not first-round tackles that we should be taking. Yeah. I think that the Chiefs should take it regardless of who they end up drafting in the first round. Go best player available. Don't go for need. Go just best player available. If that's Ashton Genty, great.
How does that fix any of the problems we've been talking about?
Would you rather get the best player available at the position or reach on an offensive tackle and he turns out to be Kingsley Suamataia?
I'd rather trade back and get a solid left tackle and a solid running back than because the Chiefs only have 6 draft picks. So you trade up, you're going to have to give up 2 of those picks, maybe 3.
But the issue is this is a bad you're not going to find a good left tackle in this draft at 31.
So we just need an eye tackle. We've won Super Bowls with eye tackles.
I don't know if there's eye tackles at the end of the first round.
No, you got to emphasize the eye. There it is. You got to emphasize the GH in there.
Those eye tackles are in free agency.
We'll work on it.
There it is.
But, I'm kind of like if a tackle is available and it is the best player, yes, by all means, go for it.
But you don't trade up for a running back.
Yeah, you don't.
After you lose a Super Bowl.
Depends if he's generational.
There's not going to be generational.
Name one in this draft. Yeah.
Ashton Genty could be generational.
He won't even get in a ready position.
I'll tell you what,
stands up. No.
Him almost breaking the all-time record for college rushing stat, I think that we got to look at it a little bit.
No disrespect to Boise State.
Yeah.
But it's Boise State.
He did it in the college football playoff, too.
But still, all right, almost.
He did fumble, but he...
Yeah,
well,
almost.
Yeah, the real... Never mind, that's not...
Ashton Genty would be the best prospect the Chiefs have had in their running back room since Kareem Hunt.
Hey, don't forget, Ryan Leaf was highly touted, too.
Yes. Well,
a lot of
was
guys
highly touted. Like, I believe it'll be inadvertent malfeasance to draft a running back and trade picks to get there. I don't even think that's on the radar.
I wouldn't be the biggest fan of trading up, but I also wouldn't hate it. I'd be kind of neutral because I could see the Chiefs saying, you know what? We think this guy is going to be the staple in our running back room for the next 5 years, because you could get that 5th-year option by drafting him in the first round. If you believe that there is a top 5, top 10 running back in this draft, and you got to give up a 2nd or a 3rd to go get him for the next 5 years, to have 5 years of team control, when we've talked about all these contracts, we've talked about all these guys you got to pay, I'm not against that. And listen, the Chiefs only get crap for drafting Clyde Edwards-Helaire because it is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If they would have drafted Jonathan Taylor with that spot, no one would be talking about the Chiefs selecting a first-round running back.
No,
Nobody.
And I agree, but they were successful with them. They drafted him
Clyde?
high. Yes.
Oh, they didn't. They were not successful.
They won Super Bowls.
Not with him. Not with him being the reason.
He was on the team.
He was inactive for 2 of them.
They won Super Bowls with Kadarius Toney too, and I went there. All right, I packed the bag.
Sky Moore caught a touchdown pass in the freaking Super
boy.
Bowl.
Oh, boy.
Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney caught back-to-back touchdowns.
Well, I mean, yes.
That's why we didn't beat him this time. We didn't have Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore.
There it is. There it is.
Those were the missing Infinity Stones.
But Kadarius was busy Super Bowl week. We're not even gonna touch that.
Took my breath away.
Oh boy. I almost immediately went to break, but we're gonna. So look. Running back.
Yeah.
Besides Saquon Barkley, and maybe Derrick Henry with Tennessee, what running back in the league?
I can go down the list. I can go down the list of running backs drafted in the first round recently that were worth their draft selection. Josh Jacobs to the Raiders. They got everything out of him. He was a great running back in that system.
How much they wear?
How much they wear?
How much they win?
Well, that's the
How many
Raiders.
playoff wins?
The Raiders also have one of the best tight ends in football that they just drafted. They suck. The Raiders suck.
Well, exactly. Well, that's my point. So, like, well,
But that's not a good
what's
comparison.
another running back? What's another running back?
Najee Harris has been pretty good.
All right, how many playoff wins? One.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is
It's not a
when
conduit
we are
to winning.
comparing, the Chiefs' playoff wins to other players, like a guy that I really wish the Chiefs would have taken. The Chiefs drafted Sky Moore over George Pickens.
Well, they drafted McCole Hardman over DK Metcalf, and they won more Super Bowls than him.
But that's not. They won in spite of that move. They won in spite of drafting Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
In a salary cap league, So,
But that doesn't mean it was the right move.
Well, it does.
No,
It does because they won with them.
Yeah, that means that was the right move.
they didn't. What?
Like, look, if I'm on a sailboat in the ocean, and I go this way, which is north, not south, and I hit land and I get rescued, nobody can say, well, you wasn't supposed to go there. You was supposed to go there. You was wrong.
But they weren't factors in the reason why we won. I would understand it.
But they wasn't the reason why they lost.
Yeah.
They weren't the reason we lost.
But
The Chiefs won a Super Bowl with Damian Williams.
But you're thinking okay, they didn't hurt the team, so that therefore it was a benefit.
That's exactly what it means.
But I'm saying, what if the Chiefs didn't draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Wow,
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
What if they would have drafted Jonathan Taylor?
What, they would have won a Super Bowl or two? What, like they did with Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the team?
They would have been much more fun to watch, and they definitely would have been better.
Well, but are you going to sit here and besmirch his first season where he just ran up and down the field?
Yes, he is.
Clyde or Jonathan Taylor?
Clyde.
Clyde has never been
He had
1,000 yards.
892 yards his rookie year.
What did he do after that?
Won some Super Bowls is my point.
He was let me look that up. I'm going to look up how many Super Bowls was Clyde Edwards-Helaire inactive for.
It's not the point.
I think it is.
No,
you guys are trying to sit here and tell me
No.
that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is one of the reasons. Like that
That's
is
not what I'm saying. I'm not
Say
I'm saying their game
right
plan,
now. Say right now that it was a good draft pick.
It was a good draft pick.
That
you know why?
is insane.
Because he contributed to the success of the team,
Yes.
getting it to
He's a locker room guy, a glue guy. He'd be dancing and playing around. That is
You
the
guys
contribution to a
have-
Super Bowl win.
You guys have been trying out that independence meth. That is absolutely insane. Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
So hold up, but we spending more time on running back than we did offensive line. So you're saying if the Chiefs throw resources into a running back, then that fixes the problems, and
No,
it doesn't.
No.
Like,
Can I tell you the pecking order of priorities this Chiefs team needs to go after? They need to go after offensive line first, left tackle, and guard if you don't think that Kingsley's going to be the answer.
I traded for a guard before I traded for a running back. But go ahead.
They've got plenty of guys that can play guard, but you also could get a wide receiver before a running back. What I'm saying is in this current NFL, I believe you need an above-average running game to be successful, and the Chiefs have one
Based on
in
when
spite
did that
of
start?
that
When did that start?
this year.
Well, the Chiefs are trendsetters. They're not, now we got to go get a running back. No. The Chiefs are like, we can win Super Bowls with Damian Williams, another dude named Williams,
Darrell Williams.
Darrell Williams.
I've got something for you, okay? You look at how dominant Saquon Barkley was in the regular season. Dude ran for miles every game.
Mm-hmm.
He got, what, 80 yards in the
It was less than that.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what.
It was less than that. And you're going to sit there and tell me that, oh, he was he's all world and all this, and did the
Chiefs
did the Eagles win because of Saquon Barkley? No.
The Chiefs sold their soul to stop Saquon Barkley. They said, we are so terrified of you beating us, we are going to put as many men in the box as humanly possible. And so Jalen Hurts beat him. They said, you know what, Jalen? We want to see you beat us. And he did. Credit to him. Mm-hmm. But they did not want to have Saquon Barkley be the reason why they won that game.
Well, yeah, but you see what you can do with the running back? Sell your soul. Well, the more better way, the more usual sell out. Yeah, that's usually how people sell. Not Ghost Rider over here, but sell out to stop the run.
Yeah,
because that is doable.
I hate that I seem like a giant running back proponent. Like I definitely am, but I just think that we need to get better at the position, and we cannot run back with the current guys we have.
But that takes me back to getting better. So if this year the running back room was at 71,
they need to be an 80.
Because of energies, they need to be at 75, 76 like they've been the last 7 years where they were successful. And you can, like, per the salary cap, per the draft, you get a running back, somebody that's real Pacheco in the 7th round.
Great pick.
He was mad you know what I mean? He was super
Yeah, he ran like he hates the ground.
Yes.
And
the ground ended up winning.
Jay, I don't like him anymore.
I don't like him anymore either. What
I like Isaiah Pacheco. I just think that the Chiefs have gotten.
Think he's a bum. Yeah.
No. The Chiefs have just gotten into this mindset of asking players to do things that they can't do. And they've won in spite of that. The Chiefs have been so great at winning.
Darcy,
but how much of that is Patrick Mahomes just saying, you know what? I'm the greatest bleeping player on the planet.
That is exactly why you don't need a great running back.
I don't think that is sustainable long term. You saw it in this game. You asked him to be Superman. He was Aquaman. Covell. He was Aquaman.
All right. How many games did the Chiefs lose all season? How many?
They lost 2. Technically 1, but they
technically 1. Yeah.
Well, technically 2, but they only lost 1.
Yes. Well, the Bills Super Bowl. That's 2 games. What's the average record of a team in 2025? That's
not 15-2.
Not 15-2. The average record is probably like 10.
11-6.
You could go down a list though, and you could probably name 6 or 7 quarterbacks that had a better statistical 2025 season or 2024 season than Patrick Mahomes. Are they better quarterbacks overall? No, but they played better.
Well, but once again, we talked about. Mahomes is putting his own basketball team together. He's got them kids at the crib. You know what I mean?
That's Tyreek.
He's an owner in this. He's an owner in this. Like his pops is fighting dudes in New Orleans. This is a different phase of life. So
he cut his hair. Did you see that?
He did cut his hair. It looks kind of fly.
He went Metallica?
You haven't seen it?
No.
No, he's got like a little short fade thing.
Hold on, let me check this out.
It's like a Boosie fade on Patrick.
It's odd seeing him with a haircut. It doesn't look bad. It just looks odd.
But that just shows when he got here, he was, hey guys, I just want you guys to like me. And now he's a grown man with responsibilities and
that
a
game
legacy.
Changed him.
That's a nice haircut though.
It's not bad. No, yeah.
I should get that.
Well, okay. I don't know about all that,
I think it is just a situation where the Chiefs go into the draft pretty clearly knowing what they need. They need offensive line. They need a wide receiver. They need running back. I still think they need to take offensive line over running back. My position...
But it's not even close. You're talking like it's close.
No. I think so little of the offensive line class in the draft.
I thought you were about to say of the running backs.
The running backs are the high point. That's why I'm so excited. Because you could draft one in the 4th or the 5th, and they could take that 71 overall into being an 80 or an 82.
But you're still talking about moving up for a running back.
I think it'd
Which
be
is
kind of
wild.
interesting to see that happen. Definitely, probably not first round. That's just not what they do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate if they got Ashton Genty, just because I think that he's got that, that ceiling as being one of the best running backs in this league. But they're not going to do that. That's just me wishful thinking.
All right, so I'll ask you this: what was the biggest glaring issue with the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl?
The Chiefs.
Well, I was going to say the trenches.
Trenches.
The trenches. That has to be the focus. If we won the trenches, then we win that game.
I don't disagree.
So, like, it almost doesn't matter what the running backs do. We had games where we won when running backs don't carry the ball or don't have over 50 yards. So that's the only thing I'm banging on the table is saying, well, when the league 5-10 years ago said the running back position is devalued, we can't then overcorrect, if that makes sense. We're not politics. You know what I mean? Politics is like, hey, we're going red this year. Nah, we're going blue this year. Nah, we're going red this year. We have to have a philosophy and stick to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that the way that we've seen certain teams try to build their, team to beat the Chiefs, it's kind of like, man, like imagine if Patrick Mahomes had someone that, when in doubt, instead of, relying on your offensive line when the tackle situation's probably not going to be good in 2025 either, folks. It's probably not going to be. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Well, he did, but that was Travis Kelce, but he's 35. And he did, that was Tyreek Hill, but we had to get rid of him because we're going to pay too much money. So now we have McDuffie. Now we have
But think about what a running back who is actually feared would do to an opposing team's defense and how that would help Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, a little bit.
It would help. I think he would be an MVP candidate.
If Mahomes was sitting here with his new haircut and we asked him, would you want us to go make sure you got a good running back or a good left tackle? He would say, what the blank are you asking me that
He'd
question
obviously
for?
say left tackle. And left tackle is the correct answer. I'm just saying that I personally do not think that you were going to find the future of the franchise at the left tackle position in the draft, and you're not going to find it in free agency. That's going to happen next year.
Not with that attitude. We'll be back after this to discuss more free agency. We're back in the pocket of Sports Radio 810. Yeah, it's a guy that believes that the Chiefs running backs suck. But now we're going to talk about other positions. Let's talk about the tight end position and the cornerback position. This is what we're going to call a lightning round because we got 2 more breaks, right?
We got. Let me do some math real quick.
Okay, all right.
We will be here for a while, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't hurt yourself back there now.
Yeah, we got 2 breaks.
Okay, so I have to take. All right, tight ends. I discussed it. I don't remember if I talked about it on air or before, but yeah, Travis Kelce's 35.
Yeah.
So almost the same as Patrick Mahomes, but he's older. So he has
1 year left on his contract.
Yes, but he's getting paid as the top paid tight end. Mm-hmm. But he has big pharma money. He has Taylor Swift residual. I don't know exactly how that, but it's some kind of bump.
He's getting that backup dancer money.
He's getting the backup dancer money at least.
Yeah.
He's getting he has all those commercials,
podcasting,
his
garage beer. You know, it's not like we're gonna have a GoFundMe for him anytime soon.
Well, yes. Like, how do you stay hungry when your body hurts? You played an extra season.
You lose the Super Bowl, knowing you
20.
But that's a feeling. That's temporary.
Yeah. But do you go out on top or do you go out in second place if you're Travis Kelce? That man has got he's competitive. He wants to win. I don't see him slacking.
Aaron Rodgers was competitive and wants to win. How'd that work for him?
Aaron Rodgers eats mushrooms and lives in a hole. Okay?
So he's disqualified from this one?
Did crack in the basement of MetLife, baby.
All right. He willingly went to the Jets thinking he was going to be competitive. And there is
He's
no
the reason why they lost.
There is no amount of that whatever that mushroom is that he was smoking down there.
Ayahuasca.
There is no amount that can make me go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw away this great career with the Packers, and I'm going to go win me a trophy with the New York Jets. No, you can't do that. I can't do that. I can't even see that with a straight face. So, I mean, putting Aaron Rodgers and Travis Kelce in the same car, not happening. No.
Would it be a vaccinated car?
Wow, that'd be an angry car. That'd be a pretentious.
Someone's getting sick.
Yeah.
Or
but,
lecture.
The thing with Aaron Rodgers is I want to say one of his reasons for longevity is how many OTAs and mini camps and stuff did he miss because he didn't have to. I don't have to do this. I'm going to skip.
He was
this
in Egypt for this one.
Yeah. All right. He missed all of these workouts and
okay. Speaking about that, Travis Kelce after last year's Super Bowl went on like the Eras tour. He was everywhere. So and now you got to stop and go to St. Joe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And to stay in a dorm with 22-year-olds that are saying Riz and things that he don't understand.
I think he knows what Riz means. All right. But
probably.
All right. I understand. He wanted to be. He wanted to support Taylor. I understand that. I'm not going to knock him for it. The dude loves his lady, and so. Maybe not go to every show in the offseason or in between games.
Well, but that is my point though. Yeah. Now he has to make a decision, and he's like,
the tour is over. He doesn't have to fly all over the place and add all this travel time to himself. He can focus more on the team. And
Obama, after he won his second election, and he did the State of the Union, he said, "I have no more campaigns to run because I won both of mine."
Yes,
Travis Kelce has won all of his campaigns, metaphorically speaking.
However, he is a competitor. The man loves to win. Everybody knows this. You see him on the sideline.
But that's like Skip Bayless.
Okay.
LeBron didn't want it enough.
However,
we need to go deeper than that.
If you're Travis Kelce, at the twilight of your career, do you go out riding off into the sunset with an 18-point blowout loss in the Super Bowl? Or do you say, I want one more year to make it right? I'm going to go out on top.
Okay.
I'm going to Jerome Bettis. I'm going to Rocky Marciano.
Well, how was Jerome Bettis last year?
You won a Super Bowl.
It's not the point. That's not the point.
The bus stops here in Detroit.
Exactly. All right.
But what I'm saying is, Travis Kelce. Hold on, what was my point here?
I have no
Fire
idea.
hunger.
Yeah, fire bad.
Fire what? That wasn't it.
I can tell you why there would be the desire to come back.
Why is that?
Like all truly great athletes and competitors, he understands where he is in the record books. He is a good postseason run away from being the statistical leader in every major postseason receiving category, beating Jerry Rice. He's already got a couple of Jerry Rice's records. That's very enticing if you're Travis Kelce.
Yes, but what do you have to do? He has to get through OTAs. He has to get through
Just
training
load
camp.
manage him. They do it in the NBA. They do it. They did it to DeAndre Hopkins, for
He
goodness
is getting
sakes.
paid $20 million.
Don't care.
So
load
you're
manage.
Oh boy. And so where's the running back money gonna be?
In the draft. In the draft.
I think we had this conversation already. I think we did.
I don't even.
right,
You
but-
cannot cut Travis Kelce.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying cut him.
Yeah, nobody's cutting Travis Kelce.
No.
And Travis Kelce is not going to restart his last year. No, he's not going to do that.
No.
All right, we're stuck with him, and we are going to get farewell Travis Kelce.
Do you want to milk the man till he's dead in week 8?
I'm not putting a gun to his head and say, play this year. Okay?
Well, but look,
if
the
it's
heart
his
says,
call.
I want to go out, bam. But if your body says, I don't know, bruh, you got to listen to him.
If his body next year, if he comes back and he realizes, all right, I shouldn't have done this. He's not gonna, he's not gonna take his uniform off, in the middle of a game and run naked across the field like home dude.
Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot his name. I
I'm
was
about
gonna
to
say
say a streaker? What are you talking about?
Ocho Cinco, but I'm like, he did. No, Chad Ocho Cinco was pretty normal, but no, he's not gonna just quit mid game. Like he's gonna he's gonna tell coach, hey, every fourth play or whatever. All right, he's gonna when you know it, you know it. And right now, his mind is, I don't want to go out in second place.
We will see.
So,
we will see. All those things.
I hope he comes back.
In the season at 36, another 18 games, 20 games.
He's starting the season too at 35, and like the first month of the season he turns 36.
So
yeah, no.
Yeah,
if
an old man.
if this is a farewell season, then this is a rebuild year.
and
If we're looking at it that way,
everybody says rebuild year like it's we had a rebuild year and we won the Super Bowl. That's a tainted
Travis
term.
Kelce was a superhero.
Yeah. So
All right.
And now he's Aquaman.
You said what?
And now he's Aquaman.
Now he's Aquaman.
It's a great reference.
Yes. All right. Defensive line. Let's talk about defensive line real quick. Charles Omenihu, what do you think his market's going to be? His market, Spot Track says 4 years, $47 million. That's 11.8 per. And I say they almost have to do that because Karlaftis is out there by himself.
I want to see Charles Omenihu back. I think he's one of those glue guys that's good for the culture, good for the the room. But again, like, I know the cap is increasing, but where is this 4 for 47 going to come from? Like, especially when you got to pay a left tackle or draft a left tackle.
Oh, 4. That's what?
I guess
11.8.
Yeah,
So-
that's doable. But do you want to do that when you could potentially draft somebody in the first round or the second round and maybe get comparable value and pay them nothing?
D lines, you can't find them. Defensive ends, you can't find
You
them.
kind of did with George Karlaftis.
George Karlaftis is a freak of nature, though.
Well, yeah, and they kind of got lucky. They like him and McDuffie, they weren't expected to be there, and then they were able to get him. So like,
Every year there's someone in the draft that shouldn't be there and they're available.
what? But if the Chiefs had that mentality, they probably wouldn't have been in the 5 Super Bowls. It was like,
Well, no,
somebody's gonna be there.
I think it is, though, because you've seen them like find those guys, like the Trent McDuffies and the George Karlaftises.
I mean, well, yes, but you can't just depend on and rely on that. Like what is it? Say the Chiefs got lucky, but my favorite saying is luck goes to the man who has his house in order. So if you have everything else figured out, now you can kind of take a chance here and see if that works out. If
I don't think those draft picks were luck. I think they were very well.
McDuffie
scouted.
Farley was lucky.
Well, yeah, Karlaftis was a second
Farley
rounder.
was lucky,
Karlaftis was a second rounder,
but he was projected to be a first rounder.
I'll have to go back and look. He was a very early second, late first. He didn't fall that much if he fell at all. McDuffie was a crazy pick to get McDuffie, but you did have to trade up to go get him too.
But you can't. But you can't. You say, hey, we have O'Menahue here. We can pay him $12 million, or let's see if we get lucky. That ain't usually how they do it.
Well, George Karlaftis is also getting close to that contract expiring. He did get drafted in the first round, though, so there is that fifth-year option the Chiefs can flex, which they will.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to figure out some more options at the position.
Milk that Mahomes cow. Just restructure.
Yeah,
so.
Until the bill comes due. But, yeah. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we're going to try to flash through the rest of these positions.
Let's do that.
All right. We are back in the radio. Whoa. We are back in the pocket. Sports Radio 810 on the radio.
Why did you look at me like when the music started playing?
Oh, I wasn't ready. I was doing stuff.
Yeah.
But all right.
Crunching the numbers.
Crunching the numbers. That sounds more.
All right, so we got about 7 minutes to get this.
So let's crunch these numbers.
Let's crunch them.
All right, Justin Reed. Are we bringing him back? Justin Reed is projected 3 years, $51 million, 17 point. Oh man, is Justin Reed gone?
Yeah.
Yep. You drafted Jaden Hicks for a reason.
It's wow, 17.1 million. I don't. And yeah, Jaden Hicks is younger.
Chiefs made this move with Tyrann Mathieu 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. I just hope they talk to Justin Reed because Tyron said they didn't even talk to me. They didn't even give me an offer. I'd have took whatever. But
Look at him now.
Yeah, so all right, Justin Reed, we have Hicks, so that's not a big issue. Cornerback room, it seems solidified, but it still seems kind of weird. Joshua Williams regressed. Jalen Watson got hurt. He has a getting hurt problem. Shamari Connor was a little shaky. Well, what do you think the answer is for cornerback?
You got to draft someone, probably relatively high. I'd say in the first. No, you could spend a day 3 pick, like a 4th and a 6th rounder.
Yeah, we can't say we need an offensive tackle and a guard and a running back, and then say, we need a corner. Draft him first.
Last year, that's what we were doing. It was like sign Chris Jones and Snead. That's what the idea was. But Nick Bolton, I believe, and I think I already know how y'all feel about Nick Bolton.
Nick Bolton is a beast.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So y'all think they should bring him back?
Didn't say that. I think.
Oh boy.
I think they should if the price is right. If he wants $20-something million a year, nope, not gonna happen. If he wants 15, we can do 15. We can do 15, especially because we're not gonna bring back Justin Reed. But if he starts acting crazy and wants to get 22 a year, there might be a team out there. It's crazy. Nick Bolton's not worth $22 million a year.
If the Bears, if the Titans, the Dolphins, do they have any money? If somebody's good enough, you take what somebody will give you.
Do you think Nick Bolton's a top 5 linebacker in the league?
I think he's a top 8.5.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there.
Why'd you set an over-under?
No, I think he's like...
He's top 15, probably. I wouldn't say he's top 10. You could probably name a lot more linebackers that you'd rather have.
I don't know. If Nick Bolton had Willie Gay's athleticism, he'd be probably the best linebacker in the league. Yes, he'd be the best linebacker in the league.
But I love Willie Gay too, but you want to talk about having a hurt problem.
Well, having a hurt problems, and he wasn't the most, I'm going to be where I'm going to be. Willie Gay was good because he can make mistakes and then he was athletic enough to make up for it.
Which, there's a chance he might come back.
Huh?
I think Willie Gay's a free agent. That just
Willie Gay's not
reeks
coming back
cheap.
here.
Are you sure?
The way it ended, he wanted to come back, and they were like, "No, we're going to go ahead and sign Drew Tranquill, and you go ahead and go to New Orleans. Good luck with that pasta down there." So I don't think he's coming back here.
You never know.
What about Tyreek Hill? Will he come back?
Tyreek,
Him and his 15 children.
Tyreek would come back because he wants another ring. That's the only reason he comes back.
I don't think we take him.
Yeah, he does not care about the fans. He doesn't care about anything. Checkbook. That's all he wants. Checkbooks and rings. That's all he wants. And
I think checkbook a little bit more than the rings too. Unfortunately.
because that McLaren ain't cheap. You know. But
neither are the kids. Kids aren't cheap either.
Wow.
No, they're not.
I don't think Tyreek comes back. And if they do, if they make him an offer, I mean, it would be so laughable. It's
I don't know. He'll be a stud for another year and a half, another season and a half, because he's like 31 or whatever. All right, Carson Wentz, is he coming back as backup quarterback?
Nope.
Why not?
What did he do this? I mean,
he's a backup quarterback.
Yeah, and
he played with scabs.
I think it's a good thing that he didn't have to play.
Yeah, and he played with. He played with me out there on week 18.
I'll take him back.
No, I was hoping for him to play a great game and make the Broncos lose. But then I saw the dudes that he was playing with. The Chiefs signed dudes this week and said, "Hey, you're going out there and play left tackle."
Yeah, I mean, but other than that, I mean, there wasn't anything about.
But that's a good backup quarterback. If we're hearing about our backup quarterback, that means our quarterback is hurt, or that means our backup quarterback is just talking too much.
If he was good, they would have put him in third, fourth quarters.
We won every game by a combined total of 3 points. We weren't good enough to put him in.
No, yeah. And did you say he should have got put in the Super Bowl? You say he should have got put in the Super Bowl? This show has gone off the rails.
It's 34-0, and Mahomes is not doing anything.
The city would burn down if they put Carson Wentz in the Super Bowl.
If Mahomes' leg wasn't off, if he wasn't missing a finger. No, this show has really gone off the rails.
It has.
And how much time we have left?
We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes, yeah.
It's too much time. We're in it. No, okay, we're not. All right, what other positions we have here?
They should bring Carson Wentz back, though. I think they should.
Oh, James Winchester, our
Bring
long
him back.
snapper.
I love him.
We got through all of them. This show's been all over the place, but we got through every
I
position.
love him.
He's a Chief until he doesn't want to be a Chief.
Yes.
Yes.
That dude would play for a bucket of fried chicken. I love him. Bring him back.
Yes, and that kicker, I wouldn't want him talking to my daughters, but I love him as our guy, highest paid kicker. And we have the punter. I don't know if I would have.
God, I wouldn't have him talk to them.
No.
No, his nickname is Punt God.
My God, man.
Yeah, I know.
Bring him back. Dude can boot.
He can boot. He can boot. Yes. Yes, he can boot.
Allegedly, he can also do some other things.
Oh, boy.
Come on.
He can tackle. He can tackle. He can kick a field goal in the pinch. He can kick the ball off
And beat the allegations.
No. This has been In the Pocket with Covell Hudson, who wasn't speaking, and to Michael Darcy, who was just speaking.
Jay Powers, who does not want to speak right now.
But
my God.
Well, I don't even know how much time we got left. Now, I've never been like, hey, how much time? There's the music. All right. Follow me, Vel Hudson, at Twitter. I'll be back there.
This could be my last show.
Could be all of our last shows.
Darcy's fault.
Been a good run.
Yeah.
Covell Hudson Comedy on YouTube. I can't even remember my stuff. Plug your stuff so people can hate mail you.
Check me out on YouTube at KC Sports Report. That's the one-stop shop for everything that I do.
I'm on Instagram at JPow.
Okay, J Powell?
JAYEPOW.
Okay. All right. POW?
Yeah.
Okay, how much time we have left?
I got about 20 seconds.
All right, I'm going to stretch this out.
More about matter, right?
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Isn't Clyde Edwards-Helaire great?
Get us out of here, Jay. We'll be
out.
back next week.
We're out.